You guys are.
All right,
I know I do.
Ready?
y'all ready? 3, 2, 1.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays, everyone, and welcome to the Mountaineer Podcast, where we recognize our current athletes and honor our rich athletic tradition. I'd also like to thank our sponsors tonight, the Mountaineer Cafe. They got a new sign up here. Check that out. Drew and Lauren, appreciate you guys hosting us. First of all, we'd like to congratulate the Starsburg Rams. They played the Bloomberg Highlanders, the Group 2A state championship this Saturday in Salem. Good luck to the Rams. And with this week being state championship week of football, we're honored. 10-year-old me is like really excited right now. Even 60-year-old me is excited. With all these Madison legends sitting here at one table. We're honored tonight. We talk about the 76 football and basketball state championship players and coaches. Before we introduce everyone, I did this at the Hall of Fame ceremony, and I think this is a testament to everybody here tonight. I want to read this off, and this is a tribute to everybody sitting here. Growing up in Madison as a child in the late 60s and 70s and early 80s, we didn't realize at the time we were living in one of the golden eras of Madison County athletics. Before there were slogans of bleed blue and Madison pride, we actually had it in our hearts every day. Madison County will always be known for its beauty, the majestic mountains and the rolling hills of farmland. But the most important thing Madison has are its people. Rather be someone who just moved here or families that have lived here for generations. We've always looked up for our neighbors. We've always loved our Madison County Mountaineers. Wherever you went in the county, every conversation would eventually involve Madison sports. Like so many families in Madison, our family rarely missed the Mountaineer games. On Fridays at the farm, we make sure we got all our work done early to get the games on time, home or away. Like so many of the Mountaineer faithful, we have not had any family members or close friends on the team, but we were always there to support the players and coaches. When we get there to every game, the Madison fans would be in their same spots or places to stand for every game. I close my eyes now and see all the cast of characters that would be there rooting on the Mountaineers. Madison always had a huge home field advantage, and in most away games had more fans in attendance than the home team. In fact, the intimidation factor Madison had, most games were over before they even started. Going to playoff and state games seemed like half the county population were at the games, which is incredible to think about now. Seeing the last one out shut the gate sign made your heart full of Madison pride. From our first state championship for the 73 team up to the recent softball team in 2017, they escorted back into the county from the fire department, sheriff's office, the rescue squad, EMS, who led the caravan of cars to the high school, where a huge crowd would be cheering on, waiting for them to celebrate. It was like a scene out of a Hollywood movie. You know, as a kid growing up, we couldn't wait to wear the Mountaineer blue jersey with Madison across the chest. Playing pickup games, we never wanted to be NFL or college players. Instead, we wanted to be Carlton Johnson, Greg Oots, Sleepy Johnson, Boot Suits, Mike Arrington, Jeff Burley, Lawrence Young, Ronnie Medley, Mike Stiles, John D. Mallory, Jack Berry, and Walter Straw, just to name a few. Congratulations to all of you being here tonight. It really means a lot to me to be hosting you guys here tonight. Thank you so much for being here. I'd like to introduce everyone here. First of all, we got Mr. Arthur Kool-Aid Green.
Yes.
Yeah. First team All-State on offense and defense, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd you get the name Kool-Aid? That's what everybody wants to know.
Oh. Man, you make me really go way back now. It had become my name. It was my 11th grade year. And Mr. Dean hollered for Arthur. And I answered, oh yeah. And Mike Mallory said, you sound like Kool-Aid. And that's how it got birthed.
That's cool.
That's true.
All right, next to him is the All-State quarterback, basketball, football, and state champion of both teams, Mr. Mike Stiles. Now, Mike, I want to tell you something. I don't know if y'all remember not in the Madison General Store. They used to sell the Madison jerseys and hats and stuff and shirts. My mom took me in there one day and she goes, which jersey do you want? I said, I want number 6. I won't be like Mike Stiles.
That's all right.
That's a true story.
That's all right.
right here we have Coach, the legendary Coach, Mr. Rick Spagone.
Yes, sir.
Coach, so on the football team, you were a coordinator, or what did you coach on the football team?
I don't know how coordinated I was. I coached the offense. But Eddie, Coach Dean, wisely put me up in the booth because he wanted to protect the officials.
True.
So the only
That would be true.
the only one who could ever hear what I was him. He was hooked up to me with headphones.
We'll get into this later, but he was also, Mr. Dean was assistant basketball coach.
He was.
So did he have to hold you back on that
Yeah,
too?
well, and he can correct me. I don't think he ever came to practice. But on game night, he was one of the few people that I would listen to. That again would, I would get up to say something to the officials, and I could feel like his hand underneath my belt pulling me back to my seat. Just hoping I didn't say anything to turn out of the game.
Well, thank you for coming. And also we have Mr. Jeff McCurry.
Yeah.
Jeffrey.
Basketball, football.
Yep.
Thank you for coming, Jeff.
Yep.
I appreciate it. And last, we say the best for last.
Yes.
Madison coach and legend, the Virginia icon in high school sports and football. Mr. Eddie Dean. We all owe you so much, Coach Dean. Thank you. So we're gonna start out and talk about growing up in Madison, playing youth sports and whatnot. Do you have any? Let's start off with Kool-Aid over here. Any memories you want to share, if anything about that?
The gentleman on the other end of the table, we was on the Little League football team together. And some of y'all might not realize Jeff was a quarterback. in Little League. And but I enjoyed that. As a young person, you had goals in your own little way. And with my brothers and some of the guys that lived on our same road was playing, high school sports.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was the only thing we were gonna do anyway. We were gonna play high school sports because the older guys was doing it. So we knew that we were gonna do Little League, maybe play JV, then get on the varsity, and that's what we worked to. And so I enjoyed that. Enjoyed the journey.
Arthur, who was your coach when we played Little League?
Dick Needham.
Followed y'all with
Yeah, I'm just happy that I can remember that back that far.
It's crazy. Back then, once football season's over, if you dropped the football, you went to basketball. And once basketball's over, you went over to baseball from Little League sports. Anyway. Mike, how about you? What do you remember about playing? You played with Johnny Dwyer?
Oh yeah, I played with Johnny. But what I remember most in Madison County is when we played Little League. There was Little League. Jeff Tucker, his dad, Mr. Tucker, was our coach, and we weren't really that good. I don't even know if we ever won a game or not, but he was just a tremendous man. He always taught us the basics. He always told us never to quit and always give 100%. And that's what I got from Bobby Tucker at the time. And me and Johnny, we played on his team together. And I think Mr. Dean, I don't know if he remembers this or not, but one of the first passes, it was right near the end of the game, I threw it to Johnny, and we wound up winning the game. That Coach Dean, he was calling. And later on that evening up at Graves Mountain Lodge, I went to Coach Dean and asked him if he saw me throw that pass to Johnny or not. So I was trying to get in some brownie points. Even while I was in the Little League.
There you go.
Yeah, it's back then, I believe, the high school coaches were the referees for the games. Is that correct?
A lot of times.
I don't know.
Jeff, how about you?
What about what?
How about you? Little League sports.
Huh?
Little League sports, playing football, you were a quarterback.
I was quarterback
Tell us
in Little League
about your
football.
glory days in Madison.
Yeah, that was back in the day when I could walk.
What's a plus?
Yeah, it was back then.
Were you a great passer?
Terrible.
You ran
I found my true calling later on.
So what, back then, what teams did y'all play for? Was it the Redskins, did you have, what did you do back then?
It was Rams,
Rams.
Redskins, who else?
Kool-Aid, what more?
Jets.
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 Jets was one of them. The Colts, was it the Colts?
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah,
long
I'm
time.
sorry. We didn't have yearbooks from that.
Don't have no photos either, do we?
No, thank the good Lord.
So, Coach Pagoni, tell us about yourself. Where'd you grow up at? And what sports did you play? And
I grew up in Arlington, Virginia, North Virginia. And I think, interesting, like these guys, I was kind of blessed to have, I had great coaches from Little League to Junior League, all the way up through high school. And they shape a lot of, what you become. So from a basketball standpoint, for instance, a lot of what we ended up doing as a team was a function of my high school basketball coach, a gentleman named Maynard Haycock. I went to Wakefield High School in Arlington, Virginia, and I guess 2 of the 3 years that I played for Coach Haycock, we went to the state tournament. We did not win. In fact, I guess we lost in the first round each of those in the state tournament. But interestingly, I just said that a lot of what we did from an offense and defense standpoint was a function of what we did in high school, what I learned from him in high school. As a demonstrative person, I was fairly, I think these guys will agree. I was fairly demonstrative, both on the sidelines and at practice. Coach Haycock, about if he was upset, all he did was this. He would, you look over, if you messed up, or you threw a bad pass, or took a bad shot, you look over at him and his head was in his hands. Like, how could you possibly do that? So, I didn't inherit that from him, but again, they devoted a lot of time and effort to upbringing and making me what I am today.
so you go to Wakefield, you go to college where at?
I went to UVA
Yeah.
to play baseball, and I played baseball.
Okay, under Coach
Jim West.
Jim West. that's
Jim
right.
West. And Jim West by trade was a catcher. I was a pitcher. I really didn't think that Coach West really followed pitching a whole lot. He was a catcher. So he and I would bump heads every now and then, but it was a different game back then. There was no such thing as a pitch count. Basically my attitude was if I started a game, I was going to finish the game. I had professional aspirations, but that didn't work out. So I needed a job after I graduated from college. Now this was during kind of the height of the Vietnam War.
Right.
So I was in college, and so at that time, because I was in college, I didn't have to go in the armed services to go over to Vietnam and fight. But I needed a job out of college, and they had the draft lottery. Some of your listeners may be old enough that they remember they had a lottery actually to determine if you would be drafted or not in the military. And I was lucky enough that my number was high enough that it was likely that I wasn't going to be drafted. So I met Coach Dean and Ann at a Christmas party that really through my wife, who's now my wife, Carol. We were just dating at that time. And he said to me, this is almost a direct quote, "Have you thought about coaching?" And I think my response was, no. He said, well, you might want to consider coaching. I think over the next couple of years, I need an assistant football coach. I think over the next couple of years, I think we're going to win a few football games.
You can see into the future, couldn't you?
In my first 3 years in football, we were 12-1. We lost in the state title game. We were 12-1. We lost in the state title game. And the third year, we were 13-0.
So
And
you
we
came
won
here,
the state
you came here in
championship.
71?
71.
Yeah. Jack was the quarterback.
Jack was the quarterback.
Yeah.
Ronnie Medley.
Yeah.
Sleepy was just a young pup.
Yeah.
A large young pup. But a young pup
I mean, Jack went on to Washington, Lee and Ronnie went on to play for Pittsburgh.
Right.
Ronnie was a heck of a basketball player
He
too.
was a heck of a basketball, 1,000-point scorer.
Yeah.
They played for Larry White.
Yeah.
In terms of basketball. I was fortunate enough that, I think this was an unpaid position per my recollection. But I think I became Larry's assistant. So I got to sit on the bench with Larry with that team. That team had Ronnie Medley and Joe Jenkins and Johnny Mitchell and I can't remember everybody, but Jack Berry. And I think that team went to the state tournament, ended up losing to Appalachia in the state tournament. But as I recollect, Jack Berry broke his ankle in the latter part of that season. If it wasn't broken, I think we could have won the state championship that year because that was a good basketball.
Yeah. So Coach D brought you to Madison, right out of high school, right out of college.
Right out of college.
Right out of college. And I mean, other than Coach D, was there any other draw to Madison that wanted you to come here?
Not really, no. It was at that time it was a job. And,
Yeah.
you know, it was what?
Affirmative?
Yeah, it was a deferment. I didn't want to say that. But it is interesting, and folks probably don't know this. So I'll tell this story, if you bear with me. Again, Spagoni, not exactly a Madison County household name. But my mother, the first time my parents came down to visit me, and this is 1971,
Yeah.
we do what, a lot of people do when they're here in Madison. We took them to Gray's Mountain Lodge to eat. So we're driving down, we're winding through Kriglersville. For whatever the reason, my mother is sitting in the front seat. I'm driving. My dad and my wife Carol are in the back seat. And there's a white house that's right on the road just before you get to the elementary school in Kriglersville. And my mom said, matter of factly, I was born in that house. I almost swerved and hit a telephone pole. Because I said, Mom, I've been here for a couple months. You might have mentioned that to me. That you were born in Madison County. But as it turns out, my great-grandfather was born in Nethers. His name was Henderson Weekly. My grandfather, on my mother's side, is a Nicholson. So my roots are, I have roots in Madison County. But again, I didn't know that until that Sunday afternoon, driving through Kriglersville with my mom.
Wow, that's incredible. So, Madison, the 71 through 76, well, I would say it's probably the most dominant era of any Madison sport in the history of Madison County Athletics. 70-5, 2 state runner-ups, 2 state championships. And we start off the 75 season. We'll start with that because this is the year before the state championship in 76. Madison beats Culpeper 27-6. Beats William Monroe 21-14. You got anything y'all remember out of that game? Those 2 rivalry games, like Culpeper, William Monroe?
We disliked anybody that we played. It didn't matter who it was.
Yeah.
But especially Green and Cup Up.
Especially
Yeah.
Green Culpeper.
Yeah.
With the orange.
Yeah.
Then we go and beat Strasburg 21-6. Big win over Orange 28-6. Coach Paul Sizemore. He was a big rival for you, wasn't he, Mr. Dean, Mr. Sizemore?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Was that Willie Alexander then, Mike?
75.
Yeah, Willie Alexander, Keith Sims, all of those.
So next week we go to Luray and beat them 38-0. Beat Page County 34-0. Elton 35-8. Then go to Montevideo. Now Montevideo was probably in the 70s our biggest district rival. Beat them 17-15 at Montevideo. Anything you remember about that game?
That game,
Junior,
Lawrence was
junior.
injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Lawrence Young was hurt, so he didn't play. And I always tell my son this story. At halftime, we was losing. And we was losing at halftime, and Mr. Dean nicely came over and said, Kool-Aid, can you block the guy in front of you? I thought I was doing all right, but he said, can you block? I mean, he did it real. Voice was soft and everything. I said, yes, sir. Well, block him then. Because, you know, everybody knew our bread and butter was a quick pitch.
Yeah. Quick pitch 28.
28,
Yeah,
and I used to pull out, and Lawrence would run behind me, and they was geared up for that. Everybody, if they could stop our quick pitch, they thought they could stop our running game anyway. And that first half, we couldn't, like things wasn't clicking and everything, and I didn't want Mr. Dean mad, so we did kind of turn it around, and he put Lawrence in there with Lawrence Young in there with one good arm, and my partner right here, Brother Mike, at the end of the game, he had to play both ways. I don't know if you remember that or not. He put him back there at D-back, and we was in the defense huddle. And Mike was like, you know, his eyes had got a little bit big. And if you know Mike gonna be wired. Mike gonna be wired to play. He don't make no difference why you put him, he gonna be ready to play. And Mike in the huddle, Mike said, now where I supposed to be? and you know, back then I was old Kool-Aid, so I'm running my mouth. Just guard the man. and he did, and Mike did, and he did his job, and we came back. He threw the 2 long passes to Lawrence Young, and we ended up winning against him. Yeah, that was.
Like I know Tracy was talking trash to you earlier. That's one thing you can say. Tracy never played no defense. You got that on him. He talks a lot of trash.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah, I never played defense.
That was an emergency situation.
That's right. That's right.
Then we come up on Halloween night and play Stonewall Jackson, won 34-0 in Madison. Then go to Woodstock and beat them 21-0. And this is the big game right here. I'm sure you guys got a lot to talk about this one. At Albemarle High School, I remember as a little kid going to this game. I was 10 years old. I remember being, excuse my language, cold as hell.
Yeah.
Madison against Buckingham.
Buckingham.
Yeah.
Billy the Horse Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was all world. And
Yes.
he was going to run over top of Madison. He was a big dude. And he went on to play for Carolina. Was pretty good at Carolina.
Yes, it was. I remember that.
Jeff, you got anything you remember about that game?
I didn't get run over by him.
Yeah.
Jeff was awesome. Jeff played
You
awesome.
didn't play defense at all?
Some, yeah.
You need to talk to Paul Roos right there.
Yeah.
You need to talk about the 10th game of the season at Central where we lost a starting quarterback.
That's right.
Yeah, Mike broke his leg in the
Broke
10th
that
game of the
ankle.
season.
Yeah, and that really
They had to invent a quarterback the next week. And that was Joel Thomas.
Yeah.
They had to invent a quarterback.
Yeah.
he
He
did the
did a
best,
wonderful job.
but he wasn't no Mike Stock.
Well, we knew that.
Yeah.
And we knew.
We tried to adapt to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it turned into nothing but a running game. Nothing but a running game.
Exactly.
So, do you remember anything Kool-Aid about the Billy Horse?
Oh yeah. Actually, that's my junior year. It's our junior. I think it's our junior year. And it started off, I think, maybe in the first drive or something. They did a sweep, and I remember Billy Horse hit that sideline. He was gone. And we thought it was gonna be a long night.
So was he big and just fast?
Big and fast. Big and fast.
It was a horse.
And that's why they call it the horse.
Yeah.
But after that, we started working on it. We was working on it. Our chief in the middle, old Moose, and Paul Luce, he was one of those guys, man, that
Sticking.
man, he'll dive and a field of rocks to tackle a guy. That's how tough Moose was, man. And Moose was a big guy, being a linebacker too, man. He could easily been on the line.
Now he's slim and
But,
trim.
but he was on that as a linebacker core, and he had his co-partner, was it Mark Corbin? Yeah, him and Mark. But Moose was the man for it.
Now this was at Buckingham, right?
No, this is
Almar.
Almar High School. He got it honest from his dad and his brothers. They were both just as mean as he was.
Had very smart nose guard in front of me.
Yeah.
Ed had run a 5-2 defense, so the linebackers would stay clean. Kool-Aid was the nose guard in front of me, so who do you think they're going to do? You think they're coming to block me? They had to double him, or they couldn't even get the play started. So they doubling Kool-Aid to get, and I had free run. If I couldn't make the tackle, I wasn't much, so I just
Made the
free ride to the tackle. Free ride to the tackle, because they had to double Kool-Aid.
Jeff, you want to add something?
Well, I was just gonna say, I just can remember, I would fill in on the line something, like if they get close to the goal line.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just remember one play, Billy the horse came around and Harry Shiflett, dead and gone. I can see it to this day. He and Moose hit Billy the horse. Harris had him around the leg, Moose cleaned him up, and all I heard was, whoop. And that's a fact.
Yeah.
We did knock him out the game though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Broke him up.
He got knocked out the game.
And they said he got hurt the week before, but when he scored that first touchdown.
It wouldn't hurt for you.
No, he wasn't hurt the week before.
So that was a big win. Then we go to, next week, we go to Bowling Green, which I guess is Caroline County,
Caroline County.
on a Saturday afternoon. And we were up against it that day. And the thing I remember about that, we lost 32-12. Anything y'all remember about that game?
I was looking at it on crutches.
Yeah,
So it was,
I remember a little bit. My brother Lord was still playing, and him and Ray Jim and Harold E. Blake. They was like headhunters on kickoff. I think we kicked off to them, and Lord and Harold E. hit the guy that caught the ball, and he fumbled. And we ended up recovering it and scored. Sadly, the most scoring we did, I think, on that game. I do remember that. It was one game that when it was over and we had got whipped. I told some guy, he was mouthing at me after the game, and I just told him, we're gonna be back next year. Y'all better be ready. And which it was, and history lets us know that we came back the next year and won it.
Yeah. So that's all I was going to say next.
Yeah.
How big of a motivational factor was that loss for the next year? How about you, Coach?
I think loss really was item 2 that happened
Next year.
the next.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
That was the pride thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't lose, I mean, like I said, that span of those 5-6 years there, we were like 75. We didn't lose too many games on all that. So we go to the next year, 76 season. What do you guys remember about those hot August practices? Coach, anything?
I just remember one of Coach Dean's quotes in the paper. This was probably a little bit after the fact, but they asked him, he had had so much success, what did he think, was the biggest detriment to, high school athletes performing at the same level? And his answer was air conditioning, which I thought was really, the thing about our football, we practice once a day.
Right.
Everybody else that we played was practicing twice a day.
Yeah.
Practicing,
That's
we
right.
practiced
That's
once a
exactly
day.
right.
At 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock at
At
night.
6 o'clock after the sun went down. And, it was, now not all you guys probably worked in the hayfield, but a bunch of guys who played football for us worked in the hayfield, and there wasn't anything that we could do to get you in shape more than you guys working in the hayfield.
I think one of the worst things ever happened to us was on benching the round bale.
So yeah, our practices weren't long. They were detailed, they were organized, and we got done what we needed to get done.
Yeah.
And I think that was Coach Dean's philosophy, let's get done what we need to get done. And, go on to the next day, try to get better every day.
Anything you guys want to add?
Well, I didn't like the heels.
Yeah.
Like the whistle never stopped blowing. You
I
went
didn't
up,
mind
you
coming
come
down the
down,
hill.
you come down, then go back up.
Bear crawl.
Didn't care for that too much, but
Yeah.
as you look back, you know, it helped us. It definitely helped us.
I think one of the things that Coach Dean was so far ahead of his time, in my opinion, was everybody back then was playing both ways, one platoon, and the passing offense, the pro set offense. So far ahead of his time for high school football in Virginia. Everybody else was running the veer and the option and all that stuff. We were in the pro set. And when you played those teams back then, if they ever got behind, they couldn't pass and catch up with them. When you were ahead of them, they were done.
You ran the veer, we ran the veer with you, didn't we?
We ran the wishbone.
Wishbone.
Did we? I thought we were in the pro set back then.
No, we ran the wishbone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
We ran the wishbone. That
And
was
different
that was-
than, again, there were a number of teams, because the wishbone was in vogue back then. Different than just about anybody we played, they predetermined what their quarterback was gonna do on the wishbone. They'd either predetermined to give it to the fullback or to pull it and run down, either the quarterback would keep it or pitch. We let Michael read the wishbone. He was good enough as a high school
You're right,
football
you're right.
player that he could look at, get a read off the fullback, decide whether to pull the ball and take it down the line further, and either keep it himself or pitch. He read that, and that was unusual.
Yeah, that Madison was just so, I don't know, they were so dominant back then. And you guys, I'm gonna tell you what, before, I spoke about it earlier, games were over before it even started a lot of times. The intimidation factor Madison had back then was unreal.
You would think that my role, again, I wore headphones and he was in a press box or standing on top of a school bus a lot of times. And you would think that someone of my stature would be calling plays. I didn't call it plays. He knew from the sideline what play he wanted to call. He called the play. I might make a suggestion. I might say, the quarterback's sneaking up here, the safety's coming up here. He called the plays. I didn't call the plays. Again, he put me up on the school bus to keep me away from the officials.
No technical fouls.
Wise man.
And Jared, Coach Dean, because you used to send the signals in. You would run the play in. We have a player run the play in. But from the sideline, he would say, Tracy, right eye. We get in the right eye formation. Right strong. I've been strong. Right split. You would signal the stuff into me, and you would just run the play in, and that's how we run. You kept it real simple.
Well, I was gonna say, none of these guys were smart enough to figure it
Yeah. And then he'll use his left hand if it's right, if it's left split. You remember? It was left strong, left eye. That's how we kind of communicated. That's how he would do it.
I'm just impressed you remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. He kept it real simple. He kept it simple. Now, when I missed the play on the right eye, I get chewed out when I got to the side. But yeah.
Coach Dean might go to Coach Needham, who was on the sidelines, and you know, thinking back on that, I don't know why he wasn't up on the bus.
He had a bad day.
But Coach Needham walked down the sidelines and asked Coach Needham, you know, what do you think we ought to run? He might, I don't know if he said it quite that way, but and there was only one play Coach Needham wanted to run. He wanted to run a dive play, option 24 or option 48.
Yeah,
Just a
24.
dive play. That's all. That's the only play he knew.
So, start off 76, we played Culpeper, win 14-6 at home. And that was a pretty big win for us. Is there anything you might remember about that game? Just beat them. That's right. And then beat Weeman Road the next week 30-5. Beat Page County in Madison 35-6. Then the only loss of the season. You guys know what I'm talking about? I ain't gotta say.
No.
Lost to Orange 32-20. We spoke about this earlier. What did Danny tell you?
We won the state that year and it didn't mean nothing because we lost to ours. That's how big that rivalry was. But that loss also broke that regular season bracket.
Yeah.
I don't know, 53, 54, I don't know what it was. 54 regular season games.
That record has stood for a long time.
Well, who was Orange quarterback? Was it Willie Alexander?
No.
No.
Willie was a receiver back when we played.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure who the quarterback
I don't know.
Did they have the Humes brothers?
Yeah,
Remember,
Reuben was the man.
Reuben was the man.
And William Fry is the fullback. But,
We had a linebacker in that game that kept throwing in between the linebacker and the defensive back, and had a linebacker that wore number 73 that never got deep enough job. And they kind of figured that out, and they was throwing just over top of my head.
They
And
were
they
throwing
did
them two
like a
balls.
bunch of third downs.
Well, I think the best thing out of that loss was the fact that I was going both ways at tackle. Arthur, you were going on the other tackle. And at halftime, Jeff was picked. They started bringing in Mike Arrington and Andy Dean at the defensive tackles at that point. So we started just doing offense and defense.
Did you go both ways, Jeff? I never.
Yeah.
Did you go both ways?
I've been left behind before, I understand.
I mean, I just remember you as my center, man. I don't really recall you playing on the defense.
When he come to the defensive huddle, he didn't act like you, Mike.
Ain't too many people act like me.
You were jacked. You were jacked when you got away on the defense.
So that loss must have really stirred you up because you won the next week 41-9 against Elton. Then you ran off 35-0 at Strasburg and beat New Ray 53-0. Those 3 games.
Hey, that Elton game, excuse me for cutting you off, that
No, go
Elton
ahead.
game, after we lost,
Uh-huh.
we played Elton, we had to cancel Friday night because of the rain.
It was at Elton.
They canceled it, and the word that was out, I don't know if Mr. Dean did it or not. It said that Elton wanted to play because of rain. It kept raining, and they wanted to move it to. They wanted to play on Monday. They said the word I got, if it's true or not, said Mr. Dean said we coming over there. We're gonna play if you're there or not. And so we played them, and I became good friends with the running back. They called him Superman from Elton. And if I had some of the other, especially my brother-in-law Eugene Williams now, I started a chant over at Elton. It was crush, kill, destroy.
Yes, you did.
I told him in the huddle one time. I said, as soon as you tackle him, stand. I said, get in his face and tell him your name and your number, and tell him you're gonna remember this number the rest of the game. And we did that, yeah. And we get to the line, we were hollering, crush, kill, destroy, and we kicked their butts, man. We did, man.
See, I thought we had played the original Superman from Central Payne.
No, this must be Superman.
That was James. That was
No,
Rick
that's what we call him.
before
Well, I called him
Okay.
because
Yeah, we had
I became
Superman
friends
on
with him on the track team.
Central Payne
Yeah.
came over here, and we stuck it to them.
Yeah. Yeah, I just called him that.
So, the
But
next,
we was a kryptonite.
That was in the paper. Yeah.
Yeah,
Madison had kryptonite
that's right.
for Bailey. Yeah.
so we go to October 22nd, we play, Ed Madison beat Woodstock 43-12. Then, my video game was 36-13, took care of them. The Stonewall Jackson for the last regular season game won 45-20. And the next game was played at Albemarle High School against Clover Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Over here.
Yeah.
45-0.
Yeah.
And I thought they were pretty highly ranked.
They were ranked number 3 in the state. We were ranked
Yeah.
number 1.
Big
Yeah.
Southwest Virginia.
Was that the
No,
game that?
They're from Richmond.
Yeah,
Richmond.
yeah.
Oh, okay, I was
Richmond
thinking about
team.
somebody else.
Was that the game that it snowed? Which game? We played up at Albemarle, it snowed and they hired people to push the snow with shovels.
What?
It was piles of snow on the side.
It could have been, it was the 12th of November.
Some reason I thought it was some snow for some reason.
Coach Dean and them have done a super job of scouting Clover Hill. Clover Hill thought they had that number,
Uh-huh.
everything in the Richmond paper, but they had watched film on them, and they give the defense a key. We had the keys to how to stop them. That's how they ended up with the 0 because of our coaching staff.
Mhm.
45-0.
They give us a key, and we took advantage.
Next week was probably one of the most memorable games I can remember as a kid going to. Was it back at Madison against Pocosin? 130-6. We talked about this earlier, most y'all.
Yeah.
Pocosin brings this piece of plywood with a bullhead on it.
Yeah.
They didn't put it in their stands. They put it in the Madison stands.
Yes.
Right on the
Yes.
corner.
And I think it had like a fire extinguisher or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And it would blow,
Exactly.
when they scored a touchdown, it would blow smoke out of its
Did they
nostrils.
score
Yeah.
a touchdown?
They did got 6 points.
Okay.
So, anything you guys remember about that game? That was a Saturday afternoon game, the Pocosin game. Bruce, I know you got
It was a state semifinal game,
Yeah.
and I mean, you know, it was a home game, and you know, we were ready. It wasn't too many times that we weren't, and you know, they were disrespectful
That's it.
towards us.
There you go.
That
in our
was,
home
that's it.
field.
That's the word.
That's
We
it.
tried
Fuel to
to,
the fire.
we tried
That's
to,
it.
we tried to give them a little extra.
Yeah.
Remember us by.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a blowout. It wasn't much of a game.
Yeah. I don't
30-6, I think it
Something
was.
like that,
At the
yeah.
end of the
They
game, it was
scored on
30-6.
punt return. We was trying to put the goose egg
Yeah.
on them,
Yeah,
but they scored on a punt return.
I don't, and we talked about this earlier when we were eating. There's a certain individual here that was highly upset when they put that bullhead on the Madison sideline.
You talking about Paul Luke?
Yeah, I tell you, that's,
Off the green was too. Off the green was
man,
too.
I was. That-
After we got up 7-0, I had a few choice words for the fans and stuff. And Eddie called me, giving the few choice words. And the only time I ever got in trouble with him. Yeah. He
Yeah.
said, "You gonna play football? You gonna run your mouth." That might not be a quote.
I bet the meaning was still there.
Yeah, I got the meaning.
Yeah.
I got the meaning.
Yeah.
But Eddie got me back in focus.
I didn't think we needed to be, the coaches really had to say anything after we came out for our warm-ups. And we saw them folks on the outside of the line. So we really wanted to show them. I mean, we played a good game.
They were a good team.
They was a good team
They were a
too.
good team.
I remember that, you asked me, do I remember anything? Yeah, they had I must have been an all-district in, and I remember one time I came out rolling to the right, and I threw the ball down the field, and right as I released it, he caught me full, and it knocked me, it flipped me over, and my head hit the ground, and my feet were in the air, and I went. Something came out of my nose, and I just stayed there on the ground. and I said, "Just breathe, Mike, breathe." I said, "You got this, boy." So then I checked it out. I said, "It wasn't blood." I said, "All right." And then I was looking for the number, and I said, "Call an option play." Call an option play. I'm doing it. And I think he did. And I went after that guy too. He's like, "Man, this quarterback's crazy."
that would have been y'all's last home game.
Yeah.
Describe, people today don't know if they realize, but describe the feeling it was when you walked out of that locker room and saw all those fans there, how much it meant to you to play
Oh,
for
that means a
Madison?
lot, yeah, yeah.
We actually got spoiled to it.
Yeah.
But you have
It
to
was
understand.
every game.
But you have to understand too is that, you know, this is not something that just happened in 1976. This has
No,
been
no,
happening since
yeah.
1970.
Yeah.
And that's what we grew up seeing and watching. And
Yeah.
as a result of that, we were just trying to pay homage to those who have came before us to try to say, hey, man, we're trying to keep the same thing going. Because all we did was just try to duplicate or replicate what they had already accomplished and stuff. So there was always somebody there that already had accomplished it. And we were just simply just trying to follow it, continue the tradition.
Yeah.
I thought he had some.
You know, I can, as a kid growing up, everybody had their set space on the sideline they stood at.
Mm-hmm.
There was always a cast of characters of Madison fans on the other side.
Yes, yes,
Over there by the
yes.
concession stand.
Yeah.
And that's where
That's what,
Dominic.
I remember one of those cast of characters.
Yeah.
Well, before I ever played JV or varsity or anything, you know, I grew up on Mud Road in Madison County. And before I was able to go out and go to football games, we could actually hear back there in the day when they would score a touchdown and the crowd,
Yeah.
it's hard to believe that we were almost over a mile away and you could hear the noise from out here at the school. You could hear it on Mud Road.
Wow. That's
And
awesome.
then these guys
sounds-
like,
I'm serious.
Kool-Aid, when we were coming up, they gave us so much support, you know? I mean, Kool-Aid would sit there at the gate, blood, blood, blood. I mean, that's what he was, I mean, and he got me pumped up, you know? We going for blood today. Blood, blood. I remember that. He's slapping us on the helmet. Let's go, guys. You know, I just remember that, man. That was just a great encouragement.
I mean, Madison fan support is unbelievable. It was really unbelievable. It is something. It gets you emotional thinking about it. It's something like a movie or something back then. You know, it was crazy. It really, sports really brought the community together too. It really did. People that normally wouldn't speak to each other, they'd be standing on the sidelines. They're rooting for Madison. And it was a great testament to you guys and the coaches here too for doing that. So next week, state championship at Scott Stadium against Pennington Gap, I believe. That school, I believe, closed down in 1988, consolidated with, I don't know, maybe Jonesboro or something. I don't even know what sure it's called now, but anyway, so they were the Bobcats, I believe. And they kept playing, what was that thing that Clemson used to play, but Roll That Tiger or something like that. They kept playing it Hold That Tiger, over and over. So, you guys, knowing this is your last game, going into play at Scott Stadium, how was that? Walking there and seeing that huge stadium. We had a lot of fans. We didn't have that many fans.
Yeah.
To fill that up, but there's a lot of people in Madison there.
Playing on turf.
Hard as a brick, right?
And I do remember, I think UVA allowed us to wear their practice shoes. I do remember that a little bit. But it was just, man, we playing at this stadium. We normally playing on fields. So we playing at a stadium.
Right.
You know, that was something big, man. My son asked me, he said, how did you feel when you in high school playing on a college field? I said, man, it was just exciting, you know. And but we knew we had business to take care of, but it still was exciting for me. Just to be on that field.
If you go on YouTube and do a search, parts of that game is on YouTube. You can see it. It really is, yeah. Not the greatest quality, but it's on there.
Okay.
And it's kind of surreal to think back at it now. Anything you want to add about that game, Coach?
Don't want
Yeah, that was a big win for us. That was just the second state championship. And guys, anything you
I think I
guys?
was in a nice press box.
It
I wasn't standing
Got
on
promoted from the top of a bus.
Got a promotion. Scaffolding. Did you have a scaffolding up there from UVA?
You didn't use our phones either.
So you got anything else, Jeff, anything you remember about that game?
I remember we got to play it the first time over at JMU on AstroTurf. That's where we practiced before the game.
Oh, really?
I didn't catch that, Jeffrey, I'm sorry.
Huh? I said we practiced over at JMU.
JMU, I
on
remember that. That's
AstroTurf
right,
before we
that's right.
played. So we'd get used to the field.
Right,
I don't even remember.
I remember that, I remember that.
I just remember it's cold as blue blazes over there too.
So, you win the game, you come back home, the big celebration, the fire trucks lead you into the county and everything. I mean, how did that feel? Did they do that back then?
No.
They didn't?
I don't think
I don't remember.
so. I don't
Must have
recall
been
the
later
fire
on.
trucks.
You remember?
So,
I remember a reporter asking me when I was walking off of the field, what's next, and I told him state basketball championship.
Oh,
There you
that
go.
was a
There
good
you
point.
go.
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
that's what next thing I had to get to. So,
Got
what-
Old Testament in it.
That's
Yeah, see the future, got the Old Testament in it.
That's
Yeah.
you win the state championship on Saturday, go to church on Sunday,
That's
Monday
right.
it's basketball season.
Yep,
That's right.
We have
running suicide.
So you're
14
starting on Monday.
Yeah,
Practice starts on Monday.
Yeah, 14 of the 15 players on the basketball team were also football players.
Same whistle blower. Same whistle blower. The one that blew the whistle for the 50-yard sprint is the same one that blew the whistle for the suicide. Same whistle
What are you
blower.
talking
I
about?
believe it was the same whistle.
Now, guys,
I'm just saying they here tonight.
so guys, being in football shape is one thing. Being in basketball shape is a whole different thing. You think you're in shape? So, Mike, you want to talk about that any?
That's you, baby.
That's the difference between basketball and football. I mean, but biggest thing is just the endurance. You win and getting up and down that court because it's nonstop until something happens, a turnover or a foul or so. But yeah, it's different. But most of the guys, they've been playing basketball all their life and stuff too. So to go from football to basketball and have an opportunity to compete at a high level, the way that we were going to do, everybody was excited. So yeah.
Coach, go to the year before, how did the season end on that? Did you guys in the playoffs?
We had previous to that, my first 2 years, we had been really good. We had, the first year we had lost in the state championship game. That's the game that Jeff Early scored 38 points and we ended up losing
Powell Valley.
to Powell Valley by a
Yeah.
point. The next year, was Sleepy's senior year, and he sprained his ankle. He had to go up against a guy from Buckingham named Watson, who was 6'9". Wow. And he could play. He ended up playing at VCU. Was a good player. Again, I'm convinced, and obviously I'm a little biased. I think if Sleepy hadn't sprained his ankle, we would have beaten him, but Buckingham ended up winning the state championship that year. So we had lost to Powell Valley, they won the state championship. The next year, Buckingham won the state championship. Then the year that you're referencing, we had lost most of our size. So we had Michael Cumming as a guard, Walter Strother, Lawrence Young, but we had a JV team, and we've mentioned Dick Needham before. Dick Needham was the JV coach. The year before, or that year, he had 2 sophomores on his team, Axel Falk and Billy Cave, and who probably could have played on the varsity team. But I made the decision, because I wanted them to play a lot of minutes. I left them on the JV team, and they went 21-1 as a JV team. So coming into this year, they're both now juniors, and Axel was 6'4", and Billy was 6'6",
Yeah.
We also had Keith Johnson, Carlton's
That's right.
little brother at
Yeah.
6'3", who they all became varsity players as we got ready to start this 76, 77 season. And again, we were fortunate, I say fortunate, our schedule was compressed because of the football success. We didn't start playing games until the almost Christmas time. Everybody else, all the other teams we played against started around December 1st.
That's right.
We didn't play our first game until, right at about Christmas time, probably. I don't even remember who the first game was against. So we had that bit of time to play, but once the season started, we were playing 3 to 4 times a week. So we didn't have a lot of practice time. Once the season started, we were going to be playing games all the time. And that's where the depth came in. We had, again, 14 out of the 15 players played football, and the only one who didn't was a transfer student, Larry Twyman, who wasn't eligible to play football. So he was on the basketball team. And Robbie has joined us, Radar as he's known.
Radar.
Yeah.
We had so much depth that, we kept statistics of every game, points scored, field goals made, percentages, that type of thing. With this team, I did something, I had Robbie chart minutes played. I wanted to know how many minutes each player was playing throughout the course of the season, because we had so much depth, and I wanted to try to keep as many people happy with their playing time as I possibly could. Plus, over the course of the season, we were going to press, we were going to run. But the big thing that we were going to do is we were going to control the tempo. That was kind of the goal going into every game. If a team wanted to play fast, we'd welcome that, and we'd play fast. If they wanted to slow it down, we could slow it down better than that. And that's the reason for that's probably sitting beside me here. Michael and Walter both, and put Lawrence Young in that crowd. They could all handle the ball. For the most part, they could all shoot free throws. They had some games where they didn't do all that well shooting free throws, but for the most part, they made free throws. And it came down to crunch time. We were going to be in control of the game. We were going to dictate the terms of the game. And that was, that's kind of the way that I approached that season. But it really started, you asked me about the season before.
Yeah.
We ended up, it might be the worst record that I have. I think we were 15-10. We lost to Luray 4 times. And they were the state champions. So we had been eliminated each of the first 3 years by the ultimate state champion. But we had played Luray, and the last game we played them was for the regional to go to the state tournament. And I think it was a 2-point game. It was a very close. We almost beat them, and that really kind of set the tone for the upcoming state championship season, because our tallest player on that team, I think, was 6'2". Might have been Earl Banks. Was the tallest player. You were on it.
I was 6 foot.
Yeah.
6'2" was that tall.
So, so we were very guard oriented, that team. So then we put these big guys in with this guard oriented team, and they just meshed. And they all played for the name on the front of their shirt. They weren't worried about scoring a lot of points. They were worried about the wins and the losses. They were worried about representing Madison County and upholding the tradition that had been established. It was a joy to coach them. I don't think I let on that I was too joyful at the time. And we had some close games, and I had to fuss about this and that from time to time. But I tell you what, I think, what did you say earlier, Michael? You said that, wait till basketball, we were gonna win the state championship. I think I was quoted in the paper pre-season. I was saying something as outrageous as that. That I thought that this team had the capability of winning the state championship in basketball. What coach says that? Before they play?
Evidently you did.
Before they play a game. I used to tell them, and this is true of them, but every team, I said, you know, our goal is to win the last game we play.
Yeah.
If you win the last game you play, you're the state champion. So that's the way basketball operates. So.
Did Lorraine have the Rhodes brothers? Paul
Yes.
Rhodes and them, they were,
Yes.
they were pretty.
Lee brought us,
Lee brought us.
Gregory Brown hit
brought us,
the,
Mark
hit
Bellingham.
the shot,
Yeah, that's the
hit the
one.
shot that was our one loss. He hit a
But you
last-
know what though, Coach, though? If our 6'6" center hadn't gotten, well, let me just be polite. If he hadn't transferred over to Elton, we would have whipped Lou Ray out Jr. We would have been state champions our junior year. So I'm just gonna clarify the record for that. But that's neither here nor there. We
Can you
can't
call
go
a
back in
name,
time,
though,
but I
Mike?
still, you say
Can we
what?
call a name?
I can.
Oh, absolutely, I'll tell you who it is, but, you know,
I'll let you
whatever.
do it.
Randy Franklin.
Okay.
So we,
6'6".
our front line would have been Axel Falk, Billy Cave, Keith Johnson, and Randy Franklin.
Wow.
So-
That's
Oh, yeah, it would have been more than enough.
Yeah.
Now, did his family move or he decided?
Just him.
Just him?
I don't think he liked
Was
the
that,
coach.
was the NIL infected? Was that NIL infected?
I don't think he
Gooby
liked,
dust was
he
in
didn't
the
like the
effect.
guy with the whistle.
That's it.
Was it a girl?
It was a girl.
Oh, I feel good.
Yeah, it was a girl.
It happens all the time.
For people who don't remember, Mass used to play their games in the old gym. And it was a heck of an atmosphere, to be honest with
The
you.
Matchbox, yeah.
I can remember as a kid, we had Mr. Dean, we had the blue reserve seats there, and my mom and I got the blue reserve seats, they had like little numbers on, little white numbers.
So
That's
then
we
the
said
games
that.
were sold out.
Huh?
You couldn't get in, they were sold out.
That's what I was gonna say, next. I used to have a little notepad and I keep score, but yeah, you had to go to school the day before or the day of and get tickets. And I think the visiting team was allowed so many tickets, and that was it. And it was tight, and you guys were down there at the end, down there sitting in the chairs. I mean, somebody go up for a layup and got knocked out, they would be right in your lap.
Well,
And he liked
Once again.
He liked to line in his coaching chair. He liked the position that.
When-
Coach was a holy
with
man.
the, with the chairs at the end line like that, when the referees were at the other end, I could say anything I want. Because nobody could hear me, because the crowd was so loud. It was when they got underneath the basket that I didn't have to raise my voice quite as much to make my point.
400 people, 500 people maybe?
About 500.
Yeah.
But like Robbie said, you better be there by the JV game or you want to get in.
A Lou Ray game,
It was-
good or bad. Oh, yeah.
It was tight there, I can tell you that now, but it made it for a great atmosphere. So that year, I also remember just like, you had two of the best ball handlers, Mike and Walter. I mean, they just dribbled circles. It was something. It was something. And then, during the regular season, our district was really good in basketball. You had Luray,
Blu-ray.
on video, both.
Elkton.
Elkton.
Central, Woodstock.
Right.
Central was good. I mean, they weren't bad.
Yeah.
You had to play.
You had a guy from, I remember from Monty, was it Diggs? Last name was Diggs, I think, was a really good player.
For who, my video?
On video. I can't remember.
He had a big kid.
We had a Darkus.
Darkus and Riggleman was a
Riggleman.
big
Rick,
kid.
yeah,
Big
okay.
kid.
And then Central had kid, I don't know if y'all played against him, Lambion. Remember Kenny Lambion?
He was younger.
Yeah, he was younger. He was a heck of a baller. He went to
Walker.
UCLA.
Central was good, and going to Central,
Right.
playing over there, that was always a challenge.
Jerry Walters, Coach Jerry
He's
Walters.
a very good coach.
Yes. They had Walker and Kenny Landia.
Yeah,
One of them went to UVA, I think one of them went to William Mary.
Yeah,
But
Kenny
they
was
were
a
young,
quarterback
they
too.
didn't
I
play
think he
too.
went to UVA as a quarterback. and then he ended up transferring to William and Mary. And he was 6'4", he was really good.
So
I think he played more with Jeff Banks.
Yeah. So anything else, Coach, did you remember about that season, about going into, I mean, back then, you had to win, let's see, the district, the playoffs. If you were a regular season champion, did that guarantee you to make the,
Well, we actually, that was our only loss. We went through the regular season unbeaten.
Right.
And we played the Skyline District Tournament. I can't remember who we played in the first round. The second round, the semifinal round, we played Luray. And we had beaten Luray twice during the regular season, but they beat us in the semifinal. So we didn't win the tournament championship. And what I remember about that, they hit a last second shot to beat us in the Skyline District tournament. So we had to watch the championship game. But so as the regular season champion, we had automatically made the regionals.
Right.
And so Luray won the tournament, and they made the regionals as well. And we each played teams in the regional from the James River District. And they played Clover Hill, who I believe they were ranked, they might have been ranked number 1 in the state. I think they were unbeaten. They had 2 6'4", 6'5" players that played for Clover Hill. I think they were unbeaten. Yeah, that's that right. And Luray beat them. And we won our game, so we played Luray
Again.
for the 4th time.
Wow.
And what I remember about that game is Luray was beating us at halftime. And it might have been by as much as 10 points.
Yes.
At halftime. And I really didn't do this very often, but I remember going in the locker room at halftime, and let's say I climbed some frames. I think I particularly got after my 2 big men, Axel Falk and Billy Cave. I got after them pretty good as I recall. And what I remember about that, and we came out in our press, we pressed, full court press, everybody we played against. We had a variety of different presses. And that was one thing throughout the season. We were so experienced because of the year before, and because of the guards that we had. We were so experienced. We spent a lot of time in practice playing time and score. I put 2 minutes on the clock, and we're down by 10 points, and we're going to play these 2 minutes, and what do? How do we deal with this? We score a basket, what do we do? So, I was trying to prepare them to make those decisions without me having to say anything. So we spent a lot of time doing that, and you can only do that when you have an experienced team. Anyway, so we came out in the second half against Luray, and I'm pretty sure we erased that 10-point deficit in the 3rd quarter. And with 2 minutes to play, or 3 minutes to play, we were in our 4 corners offense because we were protecting the lead. We outscored them, I think, by close to 20 points in the second half.
That was a James Madison?
That was that's a Bridgewater.
Bridgewater.
Okay, Bridgewater.
And that was a very heated game. I think Tommy Campbell, who the folks here about was the coach at Luray at that time. He became the superintendent of schools here.
Yeah.
He was very competitive, and I was pretty competitive. And the game was pretty heated. I think we may have exchanged some pleasantries at some point during the game. I did happen to look at it. I think I even got a technical foul in that game. I can't imagine why. Anyway, but that was really a good feeling to be able to come back the way we did and show the poise that we did. And when we were in the 4 corners, when Michael had the ball, there wasn't anybody who could guard him. We didn't play anybody who could guard him. He was either going to make an assist for a layup, or he was going to be shooting a foul shot. And so we used the four corners offense quite a bit that season, because we were good at it.
Yeah, it's because of the guard play.
God.
And then the next game, I guess, is at University Hall. Is King William?
King William.
Semifinals.
And that was a game that, again, they were very quick. And we came out in that game, and they were prepared for our press. So they were throwing the ball over our press and beating us deep, and they got some easy baskets. I can't remember, I seem to think that they were ahead at the half also. And we made an adjustment in our press. We put Michael as what I would characterize as the goalie in our press, whose job basically was, if they took through the ball long, to steal the ball. That was his job. And that allowed us to come back in that game. We were able to win that game. And went on to the state final game. We played J.J. Kelly from Wise. And that game, Walter Strother, affectionately known as Ketchup, just went off in the first quarter of that game. And I think we went out to a double-digit lead in the first quarter and never looked back.
How was that like playing in the college arena like that at U-Haul?
No, it was nice. I mean, once you're out there and you throw the ball up, it's just like any place else. But yeah,
Basket's 10 feet there.
basket's 10 feet. Absolutely.
So, also,
Remember, on that game there, when you went in the locker room, you pointed out that court was the exact same size as the one we played on anywhere else.
I said that.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's the reason why we won by 25.
yeah, so,
The other thing is, for that team, the opponent for us played 5 overtime.
yeah, game before.
Oh, that's right.
J.J. Kelly played the 5 overtimes game before they played Madison. So that, that was a big thing, and, so football goes 12-1, basketball goes 25-1. I ain't very good at math, that's 37-2. That's a pretty good season for you guys for the season.
I'll say this, and it's not just because I'm speaking to a Madison County office, audience. I believe this. If you look at the history of high school basketball in the state of Virginia, the T.C. Williams team of 1977 was unbeaten. They were the AAA team that year. They are considered the best high school basketball team ever in the state of Virginia. And I wanted to play them. I wanted to play them.
Well, Coach, we played 2 of them in the East-West All-Star game and we won.
That's it.
Didn't we? We played. We went up against the big center and the guard, Jesse Harrison. We won that.
Got him there.
Yeah, that's a pretty remarkable senior year, and I'll go down as one of the greatest seasons of sports in Madison history to win football and basketball.
Now, they won, was that the movie, remember the Titans? They won state in 73 or 74.
That was
That was
football.
football.
Yeah, football, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So,
And Coach Herman Boone knew my coach, because I met Coach Herman in the Home Depot one day. He said, "You from Madison County?" He said, "You know Coach Eddie Dean?" I said, "I know him pretty well." He gave you a lot of compliments, Coach.
yeah, there was a lot of people there. that
Rest in
day.
peace, Coach Herman. He died.
So, anyway, so you guys, anything else you want to add on to about that 76 year that you can remember?
Well, personally, I wanted 3 state titles, so I didn't fulfill that because I thought baseball-wise, I thought that we had a good enough baseball team to win it in baseball, but we fell a little short in that in baseball. But we had a good baseball team too.
Who was that coach?
Mike Junkins.
Oh, yeah, okay.
What about track?
Track we did pretty good.
Cause
Shot
Lawrence,
was nice.
Yeah,
Lawrence,
Lawrence.
something else.
It was incredible.
100, 240 state champ.
Long
Yeah,
jump,
long
triple
jump.
jump.
And relays.
Long jump,
Relays.
state champ.
And stuff.
You win the state in shot that year?
I came in second.
Moats get you. Dale
Most
Moats.
second.
Dale Moats.
Yeah,
School record holder, but second in state.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Coach Needham? Is he the coach of that team?
Yep. Yep.
You guys definitely have a legacy in Madison County
Didn't
that'll
Dawson beat his record?
never be
Yeah,
forgotten.
Dawson.
I mean,
From Lamar?
yeah, he blocked for you, y'all should have done more about it.
Yeah. One thing I appreciate is that, being on the state team, and when my son
Yes.
ended up coming to, playing Madison, winning the state championship too, so we always had something to talk about during the family dinners. But I always, since it's my house, I would be very enthusiastic to let them know that our year was better than
This year.
their year,
Yeah, you were part of-
things like that.
You were part of
But-
the state basketball team.
Yeah,
too.
that's right, and my family is very blessed, and number one, we thank God.
There we go.
But my family, my daughter was on. She didn't play a lot, but she was on the state championship in softball back in the day. Timmy Taylor, and then my son, he was on the state championship team. I was on state championship team. Two brothers
Yes.
was on the 73 state championship football team.
Old Charlie.
And so we're blessed to have traveled in this direction, Madison County High School. Thank God for the memories. And it's so strange that I can remember what we did on the football field back in '76 and '75. Well, I barely can remember what I did yesterday. But because it was an impact. Yeah, it was an honor to play for Mr. Dean.
Yeah.
It really was.
Absolutely.
It really was. Mr. Pagoni, I thank God for him also. I always tell this story if I have time. I made the JV basketball team. Larry Carter was the coach. I think, was it Larry Carter? Yeah. But then I had some issue with Charles Carter, the English teacher. and I wasn't straightforward, and I ran my mouth a little extra back then in 10th grade. So my mama didn't know much about all these other classes. All she knew about was conduct, how you act. That's what mama knew. And so I didn't have a good grade in conduct. And mama said, "You're not playing basketball anymore."
Come on.
And back then, you ain't gonna argue or anything like that with my mom. So I had to get off. But then Mr. Pagoni allowed me to be one of the stat boys on the basketball team. And ended up, Mr. Jimmy Graves, rest his soul, he told me, he said, "You don't even play basketball, do you?" I said, "No, sir." "Why is Coach Pagoni talk about you in the paper?" He said, "You don't even play." Because, I was one of the biggest cheerleaders on the sideline. And I tell my grandchildren today that I probably should have got valedictorian or something. They said, "No way, granddad, no good." I said, "But I did get an award on my senior day, on my graduation. I was most school spirited." And I think, he might not remember, but I think he was one of the persons that put my name in the hat as the most school spirited. And I shifted from the most school spirited, then I take my spirit up into the church.
Working on the different.
Thank you, Mr. Carter.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you so much.
Thank you.
Mike, anything you wanna add?
No, just thank y'all for having this. I think this is important for those that don't know anything about the history of Madison County.
Yes.
It's important to understand what came before you. That way you have a better sense of where you're at now. Thankful and grateful for Coach Pagani and Coach Dean. They were great, excellent coaches. They taught us more than just about the basics. It was about life. It was about being good character, showing up on time. You know, so yeah, I learned a lot at Madison County, and it served me well when I went to Roanoke College. And I took that same spirited that I had down there. That team, when I went to Roanoke College that previous year, they were 4-23. Coach Ed Green brought in 9 freshmen down there. We had the largest major turnaround in Division I, II, or III back in 1977. We went 14-11. And then our sophomore year, we were 25-1. We were ranked number 3 in the nation, Division II. Lost in the first round to Virginia Union. And then our junior year, we were trying to go from an independent to, from a Division II to a Division III, and we didn't have enough scheduled schools for either one. So we were like 13-1 when we found out we were ineligible for the playoffs. And but to make a long story short, I had an excellent career at Roanoke College, and it was all because of the energy and the fire and stuff that I learned at Madison County that I brought down to Roanoke College. And it helped that program down there. So, thank you, Lord.
Thank you.
No, I think they've said about all.
And Jerry, thank you. I mean this.
Yeah,
for bringing
yeah.
it, because none of us would remember all the stuff.
I
Thank
think
you
it's
for bringing
very,
that up.
we have such a rich tradition in this county.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think it's very important that people remember this
Yeah.
forever. Coach, anything?
Yeah.
Again, thank you, Jerry, for putting this together. I think it is it's a wonderful thing. It's great seeing all you guys.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
likewise.
appreciate you coming, taking time
Likewise.
out of your
Yeah.
lives to show up here, and
Yeah.
it's great to reminisce. It's
It
You
is.
really
It
are.
is. It is.
I
Yeah.
thoroughly enjoyed my time here.
Yeah.
I was here for 10 years. My wife and I look back at these times as some of the best of our lives, and you know, it's just wonderful to relive some of it. So, thanks again.
Okay, standing ovation for Coach Spagoni and Coach Dean. Love you guys.
I'm gonna say, this guy right here
Yeah.
has done a lot to a lot of people in this county.
Yeah.
And myself and to everybody in this room I know, and we really wholeheartedly thank you from the bottom of our hearts, everything you've done for this county,
Yeah.
in sports and everything else, and we really appreciate you and thank you for everything you've done.
Great, thank you. It's been fun. It's been fun,
Yeah.
and it's something that I've enjoyed and feel like I've really been blessed to spend the time with all you guys.
Love you, Coach.
Yes, we do.
Love you, Coach.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Thank you.
You're the best, Coach.
Love you, Coach.
Thank you, Mr. Young.
With that, Merry Christmas to everyone, and happy holidays, and go Mountaineers. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
That's it.